Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's the author, and you're joining me for the Fast 15. As we normally do on Wednesdays at about 1 o'clock, whether we're able to go live or what have you, we take no more than about 15 minutes as a time to pause, check up, check in, enjoy a note from any of the books, audiobooks. The first Wednesday of each month, I'll pull a selection from the personal library, have a couple announcements, and get you on your way. As you know, sometimes when life is lifing, you can't wait till the end of the day or the beginning of the next day to kind of pause and reboot. So just like it's an opportunity for me to kind of have that reset, hopefully it's an opportunity for you. Always just stay connected with me on the gram at AuthorASnorton. And when you click on the link in the bio, go to my Linktree, linktr.ee/AuthorASnorton. That way you can go through the social media, the information on the Author Andrew Snorton blend in collaboration with Fonte's Coffee, Lens of Pen's podcast in collaboration with Emery Rose Photography, the archival editions of the Conversation Corner through the Status Network, and yeah, a couple other articles, interviews, all that type of thing. So I appreciate everybody taking time to pause and check up and check in. So before we get into today's topic, just a couple of real simple things. As you know, like we said, life is lifing. And yeah, life is lifing all the time, but sometimes it gets really ramped up. So if you or someone you know is going through that ramped up time where there's a little bit more tension, let's say with your physical health, your mental health, your stress levels, finances, relationships, all those types of things, every once in a while, kind of get a little bit helter skelter. If that sounds like you, just extending a word of encouragement. Take the time you need to just kind of just pause. Like seriously, it's easier when we slow things down. And sometimes it's hard to slow things down. It is. Sometimes it can get real difficult. But any opportunity you get to just slow things down, look at things for what they are. If the situation calls for um, professional help, and if you have access to it, great. If it's more informal, like changing up your routine, maybe it's exercise or your diet or the people you're around or the places you go, just pause and take inventory to see what are constructive things that you need to do just to kind of get yourself back on track or get yourself closer to being on track. So if that sounds like you or someone you know, just extending a word of encouragement. On the flip side, we know there's people enjoying success or people who've got a new job, they've learned a new skill set. That tense situation is a lot calmer. Um, People celebrating birthdays, all that type of thing. So there are things to still celebrate. There are positives going on, and you want to embrace those and feed off of those. Celebrate a little bit too. Don't go over the top, but celebrate a little bit. Breathe and decompress and just feed off the positive energy and use that to pause and keep you going. So, speaking on both ends of the spectrum, and we're all going to catch it at some point. Sometimes we're going to catch something positive. Otherwise, you might catch something that's far from it. But those are just some cool words to help people just pause and keep going, basically. So for today, I'm really digging into the archives. A number of you may or may not be aware I actually have an audiobook series. Yeah, that's right. So the Author's Mixtape is a freestyle audiobook series that was done in collaboration with Third Level Entertainment, Canis Major Digital. There's 5 editions of it, and 2 of those editions included guest author Chris Kinder, doing some amazing work, oh my gosh, and what have you. So basically what happened is it's literally like, here's a topic, go in the booth and go ahead and record. So everything that you hear on those was done in one take. It was pretty much freestyle. There was nothing really pre-written. So I'm going to go as best as possible, if I can get to it, to volume 3, which is titled Get the Bag. It's a cool story behind the audiobook cover. And this one I like going to because it speaks to the difference between being accepted and being respected. So the track is called Acceptance. I'm going to hope that it works out. Here we go. And here's a snippet. Now, what does it mean for people to respect you? Here's the simplest thing. If people respect you, there's certain things they're not going to do.
For example, they're not going to call you out your name. They're not going to treat you as less than. They're not going to trail you for more than 100 feet. They're not going to deny you your rights. They're not going to burn crosses in your yard. They're not going to go ahead and say, well, you people do it, so we're justified. They're not going to do that mess. They're not going to give you a piece of bread and try to sell it as the entire loaf, let alone the entire storehouse, because they know better. For example, let me give a personal example. Think about your elders. Think about your granddad for some of y'all. Think about your pops for some of y'all. There's certain things you wouldn't do. Heck, even in some neighborhoods, there's certain places you wouldn't go, and you better not try it. Even every once in a while in the classroom, you don't want to do that in so-and-so's class. She don't play. And as much as you might cuss and fuss them out, you darn sure aren't going to do anything, because ultimately, whether you admit it or not, you respect that person. Nothing wrong with being accepted because it gets your foot in the door. But when you open the door and sit in the room, do they respect you? Do they respect the words you say? Do they respect your ability to exist? Do they respect the ability to agree to disagree? Or are they the ones that say, well, must have been doing something wrong. You know how they are. You know how they act. Not knowing a darn thing about, quote, those people or you specifically.
So, interesting things to think about. And I think the underlying theme, and that was just a snippet, is there is a huge difference between being accepted and being respected. Part of the problem is people have been getting it confused for so long. And some of the things, of course, we had a little bit of, a technology glitch there, but we worked through it. But really just sit back and think about it. And there's so many examples to point from. There's the obvious as to the bad political theater that's going on, to even in your day-to-day. Are people accepting you because they're fine with you being there and that's pretty much it? Or do they really respect you? Do they really set the tone to let's be able to agree to disagree, but figure out where do we meet, where do we overlap, versus talking down, talking reckless, going ahead and labeling and mislabeling on all that type of thing. So that snippet is from the track Acceptance, and it's from the third audiobook in the Author's Mixtape series titled Get the Bag. Now, if the audiobooks, literally just type in on any streaming platform, there's like 300 of them, but if you're used to streaming from Tidal, Spotify, SoundCloud, iTunes, Shazam, Deezer, Google Play, all that type of thing, definitely give them a listen. And it's kind of funny how a lot of these were recorded a couple years ago and stuff's still valid. So hey, getting my forecasting skills on. So then again, the Author's Mixtape by yours truly. Okay, a couple of real quick announcements as we get ready to wind down. Upcoming events. August 1st is confirmed. August 1st, starting at 5:15, Portsmouth, Virginia, the Printed Word Bookstore. Shouts to them, as this is their third year of being in business. So excited to be back in that area. Jazzy B for real, Virginia native, awesome host, personality, all that type of thing. She'll be moderating. So if you're in Portsmouth, Suffolk, Norfolk, Hampton, Newport News, that general region, of the state, make your way after work. Friday, August 1st, we'll use 5:15 to 5:45 for people to be able to get there, network, all that type of thing. We'll go into our main conversation, Q&A, from like 5:45 to 6:30-ish, and then we'll go ahead and knock out the signing so we can wrap up about 7:15 to 7:30. So thank you to everybody making that happen. Now, August 2nd, Social Butterflies Foundation is doing their butterfly walk. I'm going to participate in some way, whether I just serve as a walker or as a vendor, but I will make sure to support that. So I've said that. So shouts to Chastity Corbett and the amazing team out there. I know had a couple of delays, but I am going to be there in some way, shape, or form. Make sure to check them out. They'll be at the Boo Williams Sportsplex on August 2nd. Great facility. Make sure you're out there to support. August 28th, Winston-Salem, North Carolina. I'll be back at the Book House. Amazing spot in Ronaldo Village. They're celebrating their 2nd year of business. So, hey, there's some amazing bookstores that haven't been around that long but are doing some tremendous work. Shouts to all of our indie bookstores, whether they've been in business 2 years, 20 years, or what have you. But shouts to, so I'll be looking forward to getting back to the Triad. Always great to see people there. Trying to think if there's other things that are happening. I'm sure that there are. I just every once in a while forget. On the press and media end, make sure to check out AuthorASnorton CCS for the press and media and education-based services. In our collaborative effort with Emory Rose Photography, Lens to Pens podcast will be at the Gas South District in Duluth, Georgia, definitely this coming Saturday and Sunday, covering PBR, professional bull riding. So shouts to our contest winners who will be experiencing that up close and personal. It's kind of interesting. It really is. It's interesting. Those bulls are no joke. I can tell you that right now. Try and think of anything else. Like I said, there's so many positives that are coming up, so make sure to stay connected, stay tuned. Check out the newsletter, which comes out twice a month. It came out on either had it out on the 16th or the 17th, but make sure to check that out for updates, the socials, all that type of thing. So as we get ready to wind down, again, many thanks to every reader, book club, bookstore, book festival, special event, and more for liking, sharing, reposting, reaching out, having me out there. It means a lot. So thank you guys so much. Shouts to our fellow authors that are doing some tremendous work. Keep writing, keep creating, keep producing. Where our voices are needed, especially during this time. Our voices are needed. Shouts to all the collabs and all that type of thing with fellow authors, to everybody who's really helped across the board. So until next time, ladies and gentlemen, as you know, whether small or big, a victory is a victory. Whether slow or swift, movement is movement. Keep it victorious. Keep it moving. Take care, guys, and look forward to seeing you soon.